How does it feel to be here for SEC Media Days?
Feels great. It feels really good. I think this is something that I've wanted to do for a while, just as a representative of the team and of this great fan base, obviously, of myself, of my family. So just happy to be here.
You'll also open up the season here in Nashville, Nissan Stadium. How much excitement surrounding that opening?
Yeah, obviously, we've heard a lot, right? This city is great. Obviously, there's a lot of Vol fans here, so just excited to open it up and hopefully get a win in the new stadium. So, well, I guess the renovated stadium, but I'm super excited.
You're a six-year senior coming back. Joe Milton is too. Other six-year seniors have come back.
Yeah.
Is the program that special to you that you wanted to make that 6 year happen?
100%. Yeah, I think that whenever at least when I was thinking about the decision and what I wanted to do, what was best for me, there was no question about what I was coming back to. It was definitely going to be a family atmosphere that I would feel comfortable in, that people would like me in and enjoy having me around. Somewhere that I can really grow and really prosper and really kind of become the player and the man that I really want to become. So.
Jake, we just talked to Joe. Is the sky the limit for that guy?
Yeah, 100%, man. Sky's the limit, and he knows that, and I think everyone else knows it. So it's just time for him to kind of come through and really do it for everybody.
What about for you and your goals this year?
Yeah, man. Personally, just obviously want to be as successful as possible. Don't like talk a lot about goals just because they're lofty until you kind of go get them. But definitely have things that I've got written down that I'd like to achieve, and definitely within reach. So I'm just excited to get started.
How different is Joe Milton now versus 2 years ago?
Man, it's the same guy. It is the same guy, but I think and he would tell you this, you see a lot more confidence in him, true confidence, right, in himself, and just kind of how he carries himself and how he interacts with other people, and doesn't feel like he has to prove anything, but truly is just himself. And obviously, great dude, great guy, great competitor, and a really good football player.
Jacob, I know we're asking about next steps and what this program needs to take. How amazed are you when you think about your whole time here, about the different steps down, steps up?
Yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster, and I think that without saying anything about how it was in the past, man, this is where I want to be right now, and I can't be happier with just kind of where this program is, where I am, my coaches, my friends, my brothers, my teammates, everything like that. I think we're all super happy with where we are now, and that's kind of, I guess, all that matters, right? You look back at it and think about the lows and the highs and everything, but just right now is really, really important.
What
really
do you see as the next step for this program?
Yeah, man, win the East. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to go out there, we're trying to win the East, and it's right there in front of us, and we expect to do it. So.
Jacob, does winning the East seem more realistic because of the success last year?
I mean, man, that's been, yeah, it is. I mean, you don't like to think about last year, right? But that's been the goal since I've been at Tennessee, right, is to win the East. Like, that's kind of what everyone's trying to do. And so I think now that, last year, obviously, had our opportunities and weren't able to capitalize, didn't reach our goals. And this year is the same mission, man. We're just going to go out there and do everything we can.
To always have a belief, obviously, for what this program is capable of. How important was last year, you think, for all the guys to kind of see this come together the way it started to?
Yeah, Coach talks about belief versus expectation, right? Belief, and every team believes, right? Every team believes that they're good enough to go win games, but this team's got to take that step to expect to win games and to walk on that field with confidence, knowing that, man, like, we've been here and we've played in a lot of big games, and we can handle anything. So.
Being a local guy, even thinking back before you enrolled here, what does this team and this program mean to you?
Man, it means the world. For those that don't know, I am from Knoxville. I grew up in Farragut, and just 20, 25 minutes down the road, my father played at Tennessee. That's why I wear 87. He wore 78. He was offensive lineman. So a lot of things wrapped up, with my family, with me personally, in this university. And it's great to see that we're kind of getting it back to where we really want it to be.
How much is it a full circle? How much is it a full circle moment for you to be here representing your school at SEC?
Yeah, it's huge. I guess on paper, like, no better person, right, than representing the hometown guy, the legacy guy. Super senior, I like to call it, guy that leads the team, and don't give myself that credit a lot, but yeah, I do think I really deserve to be here, and I'm super happy that I had the opportunity.
Jacob, I don't know how much you talked to Coach Courtney, but if you
Yeah.
did, what was the conversation like when you told him you were going to SEC Media Days?
Yeah, so I saw Coach Courtney, I guess, last week. I was at Triple F when Lee Smith, one of my trainers, I was at his football camp, and it was at Farragut, and I saw Coach Courtney, and man, he's always excited to see me. Hey, Jacob, what's up? So just great energy, man. Super happy for me. Obviously, he knows kind of the journey that I've been through ever since I was a little kid, right? I've known him since I was actually a little kid. So obviously super proud and super happy for me just to get the opportunity.
Jacob, last year this team had so many memorable wins.
Yeah.
Some things that you don't want to, I guess, forget. But
Yeah.
it seems like you guys turned the page pretty quickly to say we did accomplish what we want to accomplish. Has that made it easy to kind of motivate yourselves throughout this offseason?
100%, man. We live this life that's very, I don't want to say cyclical, but it's weird how it restarts, right? A lot of people, it seems like, okay, you work the same job every year and you're doing the same thing. Sure, a new year comes, but it's just all the same thing, right? When that new year hits for us, like, it's a whole different year. It's a whole different world, a new team, a new, sometimes new schemes and new players and everything like that, new season. So being able to reset has just kind of been wired into, how we think, right? It's all right, new year, like last year's gone. Sure, we had some great times last year, and I think that does instill a little bit of confidence in us this year, but it's a new year for sure.
Was there a game under Coach Heupel where, I know you bought in, but
Yeah.
you really bought in? Was it, beating Alabama, LSU, Clemson, or prior to that, was there a particular moment?
Man, I think it dates back to really when they first got here. I know he had talked about, the first few months being kind of rocky or whatever, but man, from the moment that they got here, from him and his staff, everyone he kept bringing in, the connections that I made personally with all the coaches, right? And there's not a coach on the squad right now that I wouldn't say, like, I truly look up to and appreciate. When I was able to say that, like, I was pretty bought in, right? Regardless of where they were leading me, like, I'm going, right? So I think that that's truly, truly special. I don't think you find that a lot. So.
Even given all that, Jacob, is it a surprise how quickly you guys have been able to get to where you are from where you started?
Yeah, not a surprise, not a surprise. I think this roster, regardless of what people say, has a lot of talent on it and had a lot of talent on it even when Hype got here. And man, you get a lot of guys that come together and really believe and really, buy into being with each other and truly working hard for each other. Then, Saturdays just come and we do what we do, and obviously the score speaks for itself, and we're on the rise for sure, so we're getting where we want to be.
Jacob, you had 2 tight end coaches on the last staff.
Yeah.
Now you're on your second one here. You're not to date your age, but
yeah, you're good.
You almost feel like you are like
I'm not that old, dude. Come on, man.
secondary coach at this point. Do it so much.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to be in that spot where, I've seen enough and I've played enough, had enough coaches and all these things where, I can help the younger guys out a little bit, and I can, have this understanding of the playbook that is a little bit deeper than maybe some others, but at the same time is like, there's so many things that I don't know that I need to learn, that I love hearing from Abe's on just his perspective of, the new things that we're putting in and how to do this or how this footwork or whatever it may be. And yeah, obviously that tight end coach spot, in every single program is going to get kind of worked through quite a bit, and so I'm just happy to always have guys that truly care about me and look out for my best interests.
A couple more for Jacob. Joe Milton said it took him about a year and a half to get comfortable with the offense. For you as a tight end, how long did it take you to get comfortable with Heupel's offense?
Man, I don't really have a time for you. I think that it just comes with reps, right? The longer that I repped it and the more that I continue to make plays in practice or have a coach, positively reinforce me and say, hey, that's exactly what we're looking for, right? I think that you just naturally build it over time, maybe a few months. It took me a few months for sure, and then you get into the first season and then you can kind of work some things out and you watch film and you're like, that's not really what it's supposed to look like, and then trying to figure out what that means for you. Like, how do I play the game versus how does, last year, how does Pfant play the game? It's a lot different, right? We have different bodies, different styles, different things that we're good at. So being able to take things that he does and kind of implement into my game, and then being able to learn from my own mistakes has definitely built a lot of comfortability and confidence.
Would you like to play the Pfant role where you get to run and throw and catch?
It's fun, man. Yeah, what he did last year was really cool. Obviously, he's a very special player. I'm a very special player too. So I think that obviously doing some cool things like that would be great. But I guess that'll be up to the OC and the big man. So.
You got a good arm?
It's all right. I can spin it. It'll look pretty. I don't know how far it'll go. But yeah, it'll look good. All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.